So really, don't spend your money on that congestion fee. Stay right here in Queens.
Queens. Welcome one and all, and thank you for being part of the amazing cultural landscape of Queens and for being here this morning as we launch the 4th annual Queens Rising Initiative. So please join me in welcoming the Borough President of Queens, Donovan Richards Jr.
Let's give it up for Jeff. Queens in the house this morning. It is Queens on the rise. It's truly an honor to be back at the Queens Museum, a crown jewel of the world's borough, and a place I cannot recommend enough for anyone visiting. And this exhibition is such great on the history of the World's Fair, and I got a sneak peek of it a few months ago. So definitely want to thank Sally for opening up her doors again. Thank you for all you do right here. And this morning especially, I'm so grateful to start the week off commemorating the 4th season of Queens Rising, which promises to be an exciting month of fun for our families and everyone who wants to be a part of the wonder here in the world's borough. You know, this initiative, as Jeff spoke about, started during the pandemic, and I'm so grateful for all of our amazing partners who work tirelessly to ensure that we can promote the stellar cultural institutions right here in Queens County. You know, Queens Rising will shine a spotlight on the many cultural groups that call Queens home, organizations that have helped define who we are as a borough and enrich the families of millions of families here in our borough. From performances to art and beyond, there's something for everyone to enjoy. And I know I will be taking advantage of all of the different performances and opportunities this summer. And of course, it is so important during a time of division that we see in this country for us to be able to share our unique stories. And I always often talk about how our diversity is our strength in Queens County. Immigrants are always welcome here in the world's borough. That's what makes it who we are. So we have to continue to tell that story. We don't believe in building walls, we believe in building bridges here in Queens County. But this story isn't the one, just isn't going to tell itself. And the COVID-19 pandemic threatened the very existence of so many of our cultural institutions. But I'm happy to say, during our darkest moments, that culture never closed here in Queens County. We never lost hope that we would emerge from that darkness with our cultural groups once again shining a light on what sets us apart from the rest of the city. Now it's our turn to return the favor and support our incredible organizations and local artists right here. So that all of our friends, families, and neighbors across the country and across the city will join us in celebrating Queens Rising. This is only the beginning of a summer full of love and fun and concerts this summer. I can't wait to announce the major artists we're going to have performing right here in the park in Flushing Meadows, Corona this summer. So really, don't spend your money on that congestion fee. Stay right here in Queens. If you're from Long Island, drive right into Queens. If you're from Manhattan, spend your money on that congestion fee and come over to the best borough in New York City and enjoy what we have to offer. Congratulations.
A little bit about something else today. You have to admire the space that we're in. It's hard to stand on the stage and not look at this. And so I really encourage you to take time to visit and see all the things that the Queens Museum has to offer. And thank you to the Borough President for supporting this. And 4 years of Queens Rising is really amazing. When Jeff first came to me and talked about the concept of Queens Rising and all these artists coming together and the visual arts, performing arts, culinary arts, and all of that sense of bringing them all together to elevate the arts in the borough of Queens. That is a massive amount of teamwork, and I don't think that really happens to the extent that we're talking about here in other communities. And it really is a sense of, and so just to relate it to healthcare, when a patient is coming in and we're taking care of a patient, it's not just the doctor or the nurse that is looking at this patient. You need diverse perspectives. Everyone is looking at something different. You need the home health aide to say to you, she doesn't usually look like this. This is not normal for her. You know, you need everyone, for the nurse to catch something. The nursing assistant to say, I saw her yesterday, this is different, we need to do something. It saves lives, everyone's perspective. The environmental services to make sure the place is clean, and they also connect with the patient. Everyone has a set of eyes on that patient and really is working towards the excellence and the outcomes of those patients to make it better, live stronger lives, live better lives, live longer lives. And so I think Queens Rising has that sense of community. And I really find, just in speaking to people, and I have to say particularly young people, everyone is looking for this sense of community. They want to have a sense of belonging. I think that's a lot of what came out of COVID. People want to be out there belonging to something, going outside and being part of something. Queens Rising provides that for this community. And so I really think that whole concept of teamwork and bringing artists together, organizations together, and venues together that may in other situations may be competitors, but not in the arts, not here. So it's a great collaboration that is amazing and should be acknowledged that this is able to happen in Queens. The connections, by doing that, right? You know, the whole concept of all boats rise with a rising tide. By putting these organizations together and to network and to it makes it easier for the consumer of the arts to find different things to participate in and kind of in one place and culminate this thing in June. And they remember it throughout the year. There's like, you know, I didn't get a chance to go to that during June, but I saw that. I'm gonna go to that place, you know, in March or whatever.
Cato, Resorts World NYC has played a key role in supporting so many of the nonprofits that serve the residents of our borough. Michelle Stoddard, Senior Vice President of Community Development, like our borough president, knows this borough inside and out, and has guided Resort World's philanthropic efforts to ensure our borough has additional resources to meet the needs and the expectations of our community. As someone who sits on multiple boards, including the Louis Armstrong House Museum and the Jamaica Center for Arts and Learning, to name two cultural ones, Michelle values the impact of the arts and how artists and arts organizations make our borough thrive. So please welcome Michelle to speak on behalf of Resorts World NYC, the lead sponsor of Queens Rising 2025.
Good morning, everyone. As Jeff mentioned, I'm Michelle Stoddard with Resorts World New York City, and we are so proud to have Jeff announce us as the lead sponsor for Queens Rising 2025 and 2026. We have supported the effort since day one, which focuses on marketing cultural events in the borough during June. It's always surprising to me that where 2.4 million, or the borough president correct me on the numbers, 2.4 million people live, call home, we're still considered a little bit unknown. But we feel it adds to our charm and character, and it allows for discovery. Discovery of our cultural institutions such as JCAL, Queens Theater, Flushing Town Hall, King Manor, and Queens Museum of the Moving Image, and our host today, Queens Museum. Discovery of our heritage events, such as Queens Night Market that was mentioned before. If you haven't been, you must go. It is one of the most fabulous events that happens here in Queens. Discovery of our music festivals, representing sound and culture from all over the world. Everybody who comes here will discover is authenticity. We are proud of all the people and the diversity that's represented in this borough. We celebrate the kickoff of Queens Rising today as this effort continues to amplify the wonderful work of the creative community in Queens. Resorts World looks forward to supporting this effort for years to come as we look to build our community in Queens and the city. We invite you all to visit our property or our website and learn about our plans for the future and to see how we can work together in partnership to keep Queens rising. Thank you all for being a part of this amazing effort, and special thanks to the Queensborough President, Donovan Richards, to Queens College, to Jeff, to John, and to Julie. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tom, for that introduction. My name is Katha Cato. I'm the founding executive director of the Queensborough Film Festival, and I bring you great news from the film community. When we first started 15 years ago, there was only one other one-day festival. Now there are 8 thriving festivals in Queens. We have one of them here today. We have another one up here. Film is alive and well in Queens. So from the beginning of our tenure, we have screened 1,979 films. 274 of them are from Queens filmmakers. So you might notice that there are some young people next to us, and you also might notice that there is a monitor over there. We were fortunate enough to give them the task of giving us each 1 minute of information of their work that they're working on. We put it into a silent reel, and it's going on over there. It literally makes me weep to see young people understanding that their voice is necessary and to have the agency to do it. So I'm going to step aside and let our rising queens introduce themselves to Queens Rising.
Hello, my name is Shara Bosque Sanchez, and I'm a freshman at Motion Picture Tech, and I aspire to be an entertainment studio runner. And I would like to thank my 2 teachers, Mr. Fitzpatrick and Mr. Dugoff, for recommending me Queens Rising. And I would like to thank the Film Festival and Queens Rising for allowing me to share my voice and demonstrate my work.
Hi, my name is Tyra Reeds, and I'm a sophomore film major at Sinatra School of the Arts High School. And I just want to say thank you to my film teacher, Mr. Spagnoli, for his support, and Queens World Rising, and Queens World Film Festival and Queens Rising for this amazing opportunity to share my work.
Hi everyone, my name is Angelique York. I'm a film and media production student at Queensborough Community College. I want to thank my professors, Professor White, for all the support I've received, and thank you everyone for seeing my work today. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Monique Simpson. I am a film and media production major at Queensborough Community College. I'd like to thank you all for the opportunity to share our voice through film. Thank you to my professor, Professor Gardner, Professor White. Thank you all for having us today.
Hi, my name is Savannah Ochoa. I'm a festival associate at Queensborough Film Festival. I'm actually their first part-time hire for their first NISCA grant. I want to thank Katha Cato for being such an amazing mentor to me. Amazing. And thank you all for being here to support the arts.
Can you imagine my life? To be standing in this position and seeing all of you, and all I need to do is look in this direction and see all of them. What an amazing opportunity. Ideas are welcome in Queens. I want to remind you that from the beginning of time, we have gathered in the darkened caves around the flickering lights to share our stories. We've upgraded the caves. The flickering lights are now zeros and ones. But the impulse to gather remains, and it is in that darkness, when we gasp in unison, when we laugh in unison, we pretend that we're not crying in unison. It is in that darkness that we remember they is we, them is us, and I'm just another you. And I want to thank you so much to Resorts World and the Queens Museum, Queens Rising, for making sure that we can gather together today. And I also want to shout out RealWorks Media Makers for making sure that you send me incredible human beings like 4 or 5 times a year. They walk through the door, and it is my honor to make sure that they have the agency to pick up a camera. I want to tell everybody here, now is not the time to stop creating. Now is not the time. And I'm going to tell you, now is not the time to put your cameras down. You hold those cameras up and you reflect back to us who we are, warts and all, because I guarantee you I'm going to do everything I can to make sure we do better. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Stick around after the final presentation. We're honored to present this morning a brief 7-minute taste of a beautiful program called Echoes of Arrival, which is a collection of immigrant stories with dance, music, and poetry, where artists share their poignant first encounters with the United States and the bittersweet reality of leaving their homelands behind. This program was originally created at the Museum of Chinese in America, and now Timmy Ong and Sean Chong bring an excerpt of their stories to us.
In 2010, I was a grad school student and I performed musical theater shows in Taiwan. But I wasn't really satisfied there, so I decided to move to New York City. I didn't think too much, and I didn't discuss this with my parents. So I found an agency to help me to find an ESL school and get my student visa. I'm gonna go. So my flight was on August 15, 2011. I packed 2 large suitcases and 1 backpack. My mom drove me to the airport, and with my siblings, they helped me to bring those 23 kilograms luggages to check in. So I said bye to them and just walked in. So after 15 hours of flight, I finally landed in JFK. I still remember the terminal lobby. There were 2 large pillars over there and waiting people were on the side. I was waiting for a driver from an ESL school, so I kept looking to see if there's anyone had my name, but no. My phone didn't work yet, so I had to borrow a phone from a stranger. 不好意思，我可以跟你接个电话吗？我等下打电话给我的原学校，但是。No habla chino. Phone, please. Oh, thank you. Yes. I'm at. Okay. No, thank you. So finally, I went to my dorm and settled it down. And the next day, I started my ESL school and started my New York City journey. I guess I was on a mission until one day, I got really sick after a ski trip. My torso and limbs were so cold. I had no insurance. I didn't know what to do. Hi, my name is Sean. This is my son.
August of 2019, I booked my third and one-way flight to New York City after my first trip in January to audition for grad schools and to see if the city would swallow me up. A good boy. I was a good boy. I was obedient. I got good grades, good enough to get me a full-ride scholarship to the MIT of Malaysia, woo-hoo! Which included a package deal that plugged me into a corporate job with my sponsor. I was my Malaysian mom's dream, and I lived a perfect duo life. By day, I worked a corporate job for my mother. By night, I sang, I danced, I played this baby, I did theater for myself. And 6 years later, I was crawling miserably towards the finishing line of my 7-year scholarship contract. But most importantly, I was burnt out, y'all. Since being a good boy did not get me anywhere that I wanted to be, I knew I had to go. Of course, I had to do it scared. But because I was the good boy who always figured my things out, I did not get much help. I only got my student visa about a week before I was about to fly. Everything by myself! What have I done to myself? I basically had a nervous breakdown.
Timia, if it's too hard, just come home.
Mom, no. This was the biggest decision I've ever made for myself in my entire life. Although I'm still just a little uncomfortable here, I have never been happier. I got this. I will have this figured out. I always do. Because I'm a good boy.
Get like chills. Yeah.